Hey guys, I'm a little late tonight reading our story. When we left Ralph from the mouth of the motorcycle last night, he had just come in from his evening ride on his motorcycle that the boy gave him from another year. Remember, he had a ping pong ball that was cut in half with thistledown in the hat to make it soft. And so he had just been to the restaurant and he'd eaten a grape and an olive and some things like that. Daredevil Ralph rode perilously close to the dangling hand of the night clerk sleeping on the couch before he tore the length of the hall. Ralph was exhilarated by speed, danger, and his own daring. Back to the lobby. As Ralph paused to take another deep breath, his sharp ears caught the approaching squeaks of his little brothers and sisters, who rarely ventured into the lobby because they were afraid of the stuffed deer heads on the walls and the stuffed owl on the mantelpiece of the old stone fireplace. "Drat!" swore Ralph softly to himself. Ralph was in the process of taking a deep breath so he could make a fast getaway when his mother and Uncle Lester scurried from under a chair in front of him. Ralph's deep breath came out in a and his motorcycle stopped. "Ralph," said Uncle Lester, "it's time to have a talk." Ralph didn't answer. He didn't want to talk. He didn't want to listen. But he knew that he could not avoid his uncle's lecture. He only hoped it would end before the little mice managed to get down the stairs. "You can't go on living like this," said Uncle Lester, running around the lobby, watching television all day and tearing around on a motorcycle all night long. "Yes," agreed Ralph's mother, a most fearful mouse whose whiskers trembled constantly with fright. She was afraid of people and vacuums and cleaners and owls and cats and traps. She quivered at the slightest sound. Ralph stared at the carpet. "Look at you," said Uncle Lester. "You've got lint all over your whiskers." Ralph brushed at his whiskers with one paw. "And you're getting fat from eating peanuts that you pick up in that place," continued Uncle Lester. "You will fall in with evil companions," said his mother, "and they will lead you into trouble." "Nobody can lead me any place," said Ralph, "because I can go faster than anybody on my bike." By now, the little brothers and sisters and cousins had gathered to listen wide-eyed with interest and pleasure. One cousin, braver than the rest, said, "He thinks he's big, calling his motorcycle a bike." "Ralph, you are sure to break your neck if you keep riding that thing," said his mother. "You said I could ride it," said Ralph. "You said if I wore my crash helmet and kept both hands on my handle grips." "I know," said his mother, "but I just can't imagine what I was thinking of." The grandfather clock began to grind and groan. All of Ralph's family was alert, and when the clock began to strike, they disappeared under chairs and behind draperies, all except Uncle Lester, and even he looked nervous. "This is no life for a growing mouse," said Uncle Lester. "It's time you moved back upstairs to the mouse nest and help lay in supplies for the lean months between summer and ski season. You know nobody comes to this hotel to spill crumbs as long as there is a vacant room on one of those new hotels on the highway." The clock finished striking midnight, and Ralph's relatives crept out of their hiding places. "He won't," said one of the bigger little cousins. "He won't because he's selfish." "You keep out of this," said Ralph. He is, he's just plain selfish," squeaked all the little brothers and sisters and cousins. The night clerk stirred in his sleep, and all the mice froze in silence until the sound of the snores came from the couch. All the hotel mice knew that they were safe from the people when they were snoring. The argument continued. "He keeps everything for himself," complained little brother. "That's right," agreed his mother. He never gives anyone a ride on the motorcycle." "Now, Ralph," said his mother, "it wouldn't hurt you to give the little mice a ride once in a while." "I thought you said motorcycle riding was dangerous," Ralph reminded his mother. "That's no way to talk to your mother," said Uncle Lester. "You don't have to speed. You can push your young relatives up and down the hallway." "Push them?" squeaked Ralph in terror. "Push little mice up and down the hall on his beautiful motorcycle with the plastic seat and its pair of shining chromium mufflers? What a shocking idea. A motorcycle was not a kiddie car." "Now, Ralph, sharing your motorcycle won't hurt you one bit," said his mother. "Don't look so sulky. Can you imagine what a sulky mouse would look like? He was probably pouting, I bet. Me first, shrilled the little mice, pushing and shoving. Ralph, get that look off your face. Uncle Lester looked so stern that Ralph knew there was no way out. Even the girls? He asked. Of course, said his mother. Quiet, children, or you'll wake up the night clerk. Ralph wished the little mice would wake up the night clerk so he would have an excuse to stop, to go and hide his motorcycle. However, his young relatives, who were in Ralph's opinion a fearful bunch, were silenced, and there was nothing for Ralph to do but boost the littlest one up onto the seat of the motorcycle. Give me the crash helmet, demanded the passenger. What are you waiting for? Said Uncle Lester. Let him wear it. Ralph removed the treasured helmet, placed it on the small head of his passenger, wheeled the odd little mouse down the hall and back. More, demanded the passenger. You had your turn, Ralph spoke shortly as he looked with distaste at his young relatives scrambling over one another in their eagerness to be next. Come on, he said crossly to the nearest cousin. Let's get this over with. Faster, demanded the cousin. I want to go faster. Be quiet, said Ralph. You wanted a ride and you're getting it. Look, there he is pushing one little mouse on his motorcycle. Oh, he's not happy with having to do that, is he? Ralph soon found that pushing the motorcycle along the bare edge of the floor on the edge of the carpet was easier than pushing it through the carpet. So up and down the hall he trudged with one little mouse after another while he longed to be riding off into the kitchen where the linoleum made the best speedway in the hotel. Okay, we'll stop there for tonight, and we'll see if he has to keep doing that for very long for on tomorrow night's reading too. So have a great evening, and if you are seeing this in the morning because Miss McNeil was so late, sorry about that, and have a great day. Thanks.